Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. I'm going to just throw this out there. I would say 97% of people don't do this, and they should. And what is that? When they buy a car, they don't read the car owner's manual. Why? I don't know. I don't have that answer. I read the car's owner manual. Why? Well, because I'm a DIYer. I repair my own vehicles. I do everything around my own house. Okay. That means structurally, I do everything. My car, I take care of my own car. My bicycles, I take care of my own. I do all the repair and maintenance on all that stuff. So I have to read these car owner's manual or car owner manual because there are specs that I need to use. And I use that information in order to just do maintenance. Today, and again, keep in mind, I drive a 1992 Ford Explorer. 1, because it's friggin' awesome. 2, because I don't need another vehicle. I generally, as I said over and over again, I cycle everywhere I can. Why? Because it's healthy. And I'm in an environment in Sacramento, and it's called the River City. And I happen to live by one of the 2 rivers. And there is a 50-mile bike trail that covers centrally all of Sacramento. And it is safe. I don't have to deal with, for the most part, 95% of my travel. I can get on the bike trail, and it's 2 minutes away from where I live. I mean, I live right next to the bike trail. That is why I live here in Sacramento, and that is why I live where I live. I can live anywhere, but I have been here for nearly 40 years. It's because of the bike trail. I know that's a little bit off tangent, but the reason is anyway. I'll talk more about it. It's because I happen to live in a really great place where cycling out-benefits driving. But for some of you, you don't have that option, and you're going to be relegated to your car. And today, with the sophistication and the computerization of cars, you need to understand the wording. You need to understand your rights as that car owner. Now, I was talking to a family member this past weekend. We're having a bunch of holiday-related stuff. And we got in this conversation about the terms and conditions when you buy things these days. And I use that word things because in some cases, you may own something, but in order to have that particular thing worked on for repair and maintenance, it's mandatory that you use their in-house maintenance and repair people, and it's illegal. And there's a lot of government regulation or restricting these monopolies. Now, is this the way of the future on cars? I don't know. I don't think so. But in the ag business, there's some big name companies that the FTC is coming down hard. Most likely, these monopolies that these companies are imposing on these owners will be reversed because it's just egregious, some of the actions that these big farming equipment manufacturing are imposing on these growers. So that being said, I know it took me a little bit to get to the point. Read your car owner's manual before you buy the vehicle, all right? Because who are you dealing with when you're buying a car? Someone that goes from car dealership to car dealership to car dealership. They're called used car salesmen or car salesmen. Are they all up and up? Some, but some are not. And they're not going to tell you about the terms and conditions. They're going to leave that up to you. It's not their job to do that. It's up to you to understand the requirements when you buy a vehicle. They're going to go, read your car owner's manual. And you're going to go, so you do. You turn over the first 3 pages, you go, all right, now I know how to turn the thing on. Now I know some of the idiosyncrasies, but then you have to get to the back pages where the attorneys typically do this on purpose. They're going to put their terms and conditions. Make sure it says you have that right to have your car worked on anywhere you want without you having to go to that particular car manufacturer's repair shop. In addition, you're going to have very helpful guys. Well, let me back up here. Let me thank a little shout out to Consumers Report. I'm going to give them a huge thumbs up because they really are a great resource. Again, they're experts here. They spend a lot of time explaining this so you as a consumer will simply follow some of their helpful hints. Maintenance, some very basic stuff like repairing your wipers, or what happens if you're having some battery problems. Well, you want to go back up here and you want to read the owner's manual. You're going to have your service intervals, which are going to be posted there. Why is that important? Well, like anything else, if you fail to maintain oil changes, or I'm sure there's some serious battery requirements on the EVs. I don't own an EV, so clue me in. What's the maintenance schedule for battery? What's the deal with a flat tire? You know what's worse than anything in the world? You get a flat tire and one of your family members pulled out the jack and didn't replace it. What are you going to do? Well, in some cases, you have a car repair service. You can just call them up and they'll come out. AAA, for example. But in some cases, on older vehicles like mine, where, again, I try to be cognizant here and make sure that all the equipment, all the maintenance stuff is in the vehicle in the event that I have a flat. And then instruments and displays today, because of the sophistication, your GPS, your cell phones, your monitoring system. In other words, you're going to have a lot of smartphone stuff related to your vehicles and the monitoring on them. Read what's going on. In other words, these new cars have their fuel economy and a lot of helpful hints, but you have to be able to understand the program and identify what certain codes are and safety features and so on and so forth. Bottom line here is read the manual. Again, as I keep saying, read it if you need it. And if you own a new vehicle or even an older vehicle, take a look. It's a 5-minute read. During that NFL football game, during halftime, open up that manual. Take a look. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. See you soon. Oh, and by the way, there'll be a link below to this source.